This is Truth Lies Reality. I think I got like a little intro though. Let's see.
What's good, ladies and gentlemen? What's the deal? What's the truth? What's the real? You are now tuned in to TLR, Truth Lies Reality.
Truth Lies Reality.
With your host, SB Global. Worldwide, them other dudes is local. Let's get into it.
Dr. Umar Johnson. How y'all feel about the good Dr. Umar? Y'all are y'all fans of Umar Johnson? Because I'm not. I did a video on Umar Johnson last year, and it's like my best video so far. I got 11,000 views on that joker. If you ain't seen it, you need to check it out as soon as you can. And I'm mad at myself because I'm like, man, the algorithm opened up for you, boy. I was popping, you know what I mean? And I'm like, but I really didn't want to do a lot of stuff focused on him. But he draws a lot of attention, you know what I'm saying? And none of it really good. So if you're familiar with his school, so-called school, he's supposed to be opening up, you know that that shit was like, as far as when I first heard of Dr. Umar, like 20, I guess I heard of him like 2015 when the whole, you know, the black, I don't know, philosophers was popping real tough. The Brother Polites and the Sarah Sudnasettis and the Sonetta, you know what I mean? They was all on the internet, you know what I'm saying? Talking about the black woman is God and, you know, a whole bunch of stuff they was throwing out there. And Umar was part of that, part of the Hidden Colors with Tariq Nasheed. You know, people had a lot of high hopes for Dr. Umar. People thought that Umar was somebody that might be, I don't know, somebody that could be taken seriously or somebody that can possibly, you know, be a symbol of hope or a symbol of I don't know, man, like just an example that some of the youth and some of the up and coming brothers could look to get you know, to just learn from. You know what I mean? The dude is extremely articulate. He seemed to be a very bright person in the beginning, and it looked like he was probably, or he looked like he could have been on the up and up. But here we are. Like I said, that was 2015 when I first heard of him. So here we are, 2026. He bought the schools in 2019. So we 7 years still, no school open up. Now, I don't know if you saw the thumbnail, but Umar Johnson is Pan-African. Umar Johnson is Pan-African. Let me see. Let me read this comment right quick. I got to pull my comment bar up, man. Give me just 1 second. I told y'all I'm slow motion a little bit, but I'm in motion. That's what matter. You know what I mean? I'm in motion. Okay, here the comments thing right here. I want to be able to read this loud. Here we go, y'all. Okay, we got a few comments. I'm digging it, cuz. Who is this? Who is whoever MMA Cage Face? I wish I knew who you was. You seem like you somebody I might know in real life because you hit me with the cuz, even though I ain't banging, but I got a lot of partners out there that on that type of time. You feel me? But yeah, man, I appreciate the love, MMA Cage Face. He said I was playing those classics. How did Dr. Umar mess up this time? I got you. Give me just a little bit longer. I'm about to show you. I just want to read a couple more comments. Last call 3544 say dope with the black peace sign. Yes, sir. Okay. MMA Cage Face. The background look cool. Good looking out. Damn, I got a thumbs down. Somebody came on here just to hate. Hey, that's the time we in though. You see that? I mean, listen. I guess I have thumbs down some shit before, but it had to be some shit that was like straight up negative. It wasn't just, just to try and knock somebody for trying to do their thing. That's the world we live in though. Okay. Okay. Maybe that's a Dr. Umar supporter and he don't want nobody, or she, whoever that is, don't want nobody knocking Dr. Umar. So that's your opinion. I'm not gonna deny you or your opinion. You know what I mean? That's all yours. All right, but my whoever MMA cage face, man, you the supporter of the day, man. I sure appreciate your engagement. All right. He said, "Is it the fake school?" No, man, it ain't even the fake school. It ain't got nothing to do with the fake school. It ain't got nothing to do with the fake school. It's way deeper than that, really. It's way deeper, and I ain't gonna hold y'all a lot longer. But I just want to make sure I acknowledge the comments. Jay Roxon, Y8U say trap bandos, no school. LOL, MMA cage face, typical. Okay, yeah, juicy fruit. If you don't know, now you know. Okay, yeah, man. Man. Thanks for the love, cage face. I'm digging it, cuz it's 5:30 a.m. where we still have life in us, yep. To hear these classics, sure enough. But Bernard, right, okay. But no, Bernard, my guy. Jay Roxon. Hobo Globotrend. Globotribbin. You got me on that one, champ. Take your time. Okay. Jay Roxon, I wanted the school. This is what Jay Roxon YHU say. I wanted the school. Umar Johnson is the wrong man to lead the effort. The concept is valid, but the requirement, but it requires a strategic plan. Umar Johnson is not a strategic thinker. He is reactionary. Absolutely. That's a good take. Jay Roxon spot on. Exactly. Jay Roxon, Umar Johnson mimics Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu and Dr. Naeem Akbar. Okay, I'm not familiar with them. Okay, so we ain't gonna mess around with you all day. I'm gonna get right into it, man. Let me pull this video up, y'all. Let me see. Once again, man, thank y'all for joining me. Cause I know I'm on some impromptu shit out the blue. You know what I'm saying? But the real one's gonna show up no matter what. That's what I know for sure. Where's my videos? Okay, here we go. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I know I labeled that bitch. I ain't got my eyeglasses, so I keep making all these punk ass excuses, but it is what it is. Okay, here we go. Is this bitch ass right here? Gotta unlock it. Hold on, man. Oh, god damn it. I didn't want to fuck with that. Hold on. Let me lock that back. Okay. Let me see. Do this thing have volume? Okay, so I'm gonna have to let me get out of that. I'm gonna bring it back up.
African roots. I don't give a damn what game y'all want to play, but you ain't doing that. There's spiritual ramifications for that. There's political ramifications for that. There's economic ramifications for that. And let's go political, Loon. Only an idiot will cut themselves off from a meaningful relationship with other nations. You cannot survive in this world without allies. Do you understand me? Especially when you are a numerical minority. How did Cuba survive America, being 90 miles off the coast, Loon? Because Cuba had Russia, an international ally. The American African people need Africans as allies. We need our Caribbean brothers and sisters as allies. We need our South and Central American brothers and sisters as allies, not enemies.
Yes.
So you mean to tell me you fighting the white man who's an enemy, and I'm going to make an enemy out of all my black brothers and sisters around the world? That is insane.
Yeah, I don't
And it's not one-sided. I want to be clear, Loon. African immigrants are just as guilty of this sectionalism and division. I want to be very clear because I've seen the feed. People send them to me. It is. I'm not saying that ADOS FBAs are more liable for the racial divide. They're not. It's equal. Some of the stuff I've seen continental Africans say about American Africans is unacceptable. And some of the things I've seen us say about them is unacceptable. So I'm not giving one side more blame than the other. They're equally wrong.
Yes. And you know, I think when I look at it, when I look at all of the movements together, you know, I'm just concerned that we do have a lot of infighting. But with that being said,
Well, that's okay because I'm bringing a solution to this. Since we're knocking on the door of FDMG being ready, there needs to be a progressive American African movement that looks out for the best interests of the American African people, that does not demonize our brothers and sisters abroad, and that looks to build relationships with them as far as that can be done. So my movement to counteract the negativity of these movements we're discussing is going to be the DAFA movement, DAFA, descendants of African freedmen in America. Remember, Loon, after freedom came, we were known as what? Freedmen. That was a legal classification. We were the freedmen. My 3 times great-grandfather George fought in the Civil War. My 4 times great-grandfather Steve fought in the Civil War. My cousins Lewis and Charles, the sons of Frederick Douglass, fought in the Civil War. I'm a descendant of freedmen who fought to keep this country from being divided. And we have rights as freedmen. So we're fighting as descendants of African, not no American. You ain't never putting that in no title, no organization of mine. Descendants of African freedmen in America.
I like that. Do you think you're going to get pushback for even launching that?
It don't matter. I'm stronger than both of them groups put together.
Okay. Now, with that being said, I do believe that reparations, the debt is lineage specific. So I don't want to remove the point. Like I like how you put it, right? That before America was America, there were the same behavior. Yeah. So, but I think the British should pay for that.
Yes.
Or did you say were the funds transferred
part
to?
Of your reparations is coming from who? The British. And if we go 1619, right, to 1719, that's 100 years. And then 1719 to 1776, that's like almost 60. So 160 years of your 250. Guess what? Most of your time in American slavery was under the British, not the Americans. Did you see that?
Yeah.
We just did the math. Yeah. Most of your time enslaved in America was under the British. Is it not common sense, Loon, to unite with my African brothers and sisters in Ghana, in Malawi, in Nigeria, in Jamaica, in other places around the British Empire who are fighting for the same thing when we are all kith and kin anyway? Does it make sense for me to be at odds with a Jamaican who may very well be my blood cousin? Does it make sense for me to be at odds with a Nigerian who might very well be my blood uncle? Loon, we are fighting with people who may very well be from your same ancestral line. That is ridiculous. And we don't fight white people half as much as we fight each other. And that goes for us and the African side.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in both sides, bro.
Yeah.
For me, there's only one tribe, and that's the Pan-Africanist tribe. You are either for all Africans or you are for no African.
That's
But see, the reason I have to come forward with the Dafa movement is many American Africans who agree with some of what they're hearing, but don't want to be part of the conflict and the division. But they say, I either got
because it's a lot of that.
I got to go FBA.
Yeah.
Both of them antagonize African immigrants. I don't want the antagonism, but I do understand the need for us because we have a unique history that nobody else has, right? But I ain't got nowhere to go. So they're being forced to join movements that they don't fully want to support because they don't agree with the negativity. So I'm going to come with the movement where, yes, we're going to do our thing as the American African people and still link up with the general race.
So you have a solution. You're
Absolutely.
solution based in your approach to it. Because
All right. Now I played that all the way through. I didn't want to interrupt, but I am going to, replay it and make my points and break it down. Where the hell is my camera? There we go. Yeah, I thought that was exactly. Jay Roxon, let me get your comment queued up. Hold on. Jay Roxon says more division opens up the door to be conquered. Exactly. All right. Seasoned. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Seasoned. He's talking about black people. No matter what, we all black. And the whites don't care. If you're African, Caribbean, or American, you're one big black person to them. Pretty much. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna hit play and I'm gonna stop it where I feel like something needs to be addressed. We'll do that. Let me get this comment off of here. Okay, let's do it.
From my African roots. I don't give a damn what game y'all want to play, but you ain't doing that. There's spiritual ramifications.
Okay, see, that's the issue I got right off the top. We ain't doing what? What is it that we not doing? What is Dr. Umar so perturbed about? What got his panties or his boxer briefs in a bunch? Jay Roxon say there must be a strategic plan with goals, milestones, and objectives. Absolutely. But I'm just tripping off of Umar's energy. Talking about what we ain't doing. We ain't doing that. Like who didn't upset you, Dr. Umar? Because ain't nobody done nothing to you. You the one got everybody's donation and traveling the world and sleeping in top notch top flight hotels and you know what I'm saying, living your life off of the donations of probably mostly black women. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure some black brothers was donating initially, but most of the donors I suspect it's more than likely women. But anyway, I'm gonna stop this again.
From my African roots. I don't give a damn what game y'all want to play, but you ain't doing that. There's spiritual ramifications for that. There's political ramifications for that. There's economic ramifications for that. And let's go political.
Okay, so he's worried about being disconnected from African roots. He feels like the FBA moniker or the FBA ideology, still no school. That's right. The FBA ideology is exactly donations. He feels like the FBA ideology is a separation from African roots. Well, you don't have to separate from anything, Dr. Umar. You don't. You're your own thing, just like you're Pan African. How many people identify with Pan Africanism? I mean, first of all, as far as blacks or FBA or ADOS, African American, Negro, colored, niggas, we've celebrated Africa as for as long as I can remember. We've always admired and we hold Africa as you know uh, in the highest esteem, I should say. We hold Africa in the highest esteem. We know that Africa is the motherland. I'm one of the dudes that was. I don't know how old y'all is. You know what I'm saying? I'm 49. When I was in junior high school, going up to high school, we was rocking the medallions. I had the cross colors in high school, the red, black. So what are you talking about? We ain't cutting off no African roots because we know that civilization, that all life begins in Africa. You know what I'm saying? That's just a proven fact. So there is no cutting off no roots. You can't do it. It's impossible. But what I believe, let me see. Umar Johnson needs to focus on the school. What is the long term revenue stream that will pay the teachers, expenses, insurance, etc.? Ninja Khan, all them folks, exactly. Exactly. Everyone loves Danny. Ninja Khan, all them folks for them don't. Yeah, and now you on here being a distraction. You know what I mean? You on here distracting because at the end of the day, like I said, ain't nothing but love for Africa. Niggas rock dashikis. Niggas is, you know what I'm saying? Been celebrating Africa for the longest, but I don't see a whole lot of Africans celebrating their black American brothers and sisters. I haven't seen a whole lot of that personally. You know what I mean? That's just my observation. If y'all see something or y'all experience is different, then that's what it is. I can't take that away from you. But personally, and I've had some African people that I've been friendly with and cool with. You know what I'm saying? We was all right. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about, we celebrate Africa. A lot of people want to say that there's no culture here in America when black folks then gave culture to the planet. Me personally, I identify as black. I celebrate all aspects of black culture throughout the world. I don't know what that makes me. I mean, that makes you intelligent, as you should. Season. Uh, let's see what he's talking about. The operational cost for the school was probably $750,000 to $1 million per year. Donations from single mothers won't pay the bill. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. So listen. That's not true, brother. Everyone celebrates Black American culture. Okay. So listen. Yes and no. Yes and no. They do it. Okay. So when you say like, I mean, everybody gonna celebrate Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Who else? They're gonna celebrate the people at the top. But I'm talking about. See, I don't know a famous African. Like I don't have a African favorite celebrity uh, or public figure that I look at and I say, oh man, that dude. I mean, I guess like Serge Ibaka when he was playing, or what's his name, Akeem Olajuwon, some shit like that. But I'm saying, you know, but right there, you know what I'm saying? Like that's I don't look at them any different. You know what I'm saying? I just look at them as black people that come from a different side of the world. But they still black people. But a lot of them, I don't know if y'all been paying attention, they don't consider themselves black. Now I see Season, I think was that Season that said he considers himself black? Yeah. Yeah, I think it was Season. Let me see. Okay, yeah. Be personally identify as black. Yeah. And and the thing is, I do too. I do too. And I do realize that, black is a misnomer, same as white. Because nobody's a color. You know what I'm saying? You if you're gonna claim something, you're gonna claim, your place of origin, right? So if you are an African or you come from Africa or the continent of Africa, the country of Nigeria or whatever, then you would claim that. We don't claim North American, right? We just say, hey, I'm American. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't I don't think that it's a person is red saying they red, or a person is Asian people don't call themselves yellow. Okay, yeah, I got you. I got you, Season. Kind of lost my train of thought, but yeah. So the whole black thing is a bit of a misnomer, but we adopted it because when you think about the names we were given, I'm Nigerian and Cherokee. Nigga Roki. I know that's right. That nigga say he a nigga Roki. Okay. But yeah, man. So for me, this is all I know. You know what I'm saying? I've been here my whole life. My mother and father have been here their whole life. They parents been here their whole life. Their parents been here their whole life. And their parents been here their whole life. And as far as I know, I have absolutely no African heritage, African relatives, African traditions, customs, or lineage, other than the lineage that the whole world shares, right? Because even white folks, or even though they Europe or wherever, Greece, whatever you come from, you know what I'm saying? It was an African that started your lineage at some point. So if that's the case, then we all gonna say we African. But that's just not how we classify these ethnicities, if you will. So if you from Cuba, you Cuban. You from Jamaica, like my boy on the screen, Daddy Rock Beat, you Jamaican, right? So the color you are is really not even not technically how you should refer to yourself. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you skinny, should you refer to yourself as skinny? Um, if you tall, should you refer to yourself as tall? Hey, I'm tall. You know what I'm saying? I'm short. I'm fat. You know. But but outside of that, the names we were given due to slavery and whatnot. Okay. Now that's see. Now you get now you took the words right out of my mouth. Cage face, like the copper natives. Okay. Um. Huh. So we claim black because black is the proudest term that we were given to choose from. It was either gonna be slave, nigga, Negro, colored, Afro American, black, or African American. So we have 7 choices. I think most niggas, if you gave us a multiple choice, then we gonna probably pick the black. I know that's what I'm picking out of those 7. We share phenotype, which is how the world operates. How you look is the most important aspect of a human identity. Okay, okay. I can rock with that. I can rock with that. But that's not the way people identify themselves though. You know what I'm saying? When you say who you are, you say where you from, right? Like gang bangers. Where you from is everything, right? Where you come from. I can see what you look like. I don't know where the fuck you come from. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at you and I want to know. And for me to pinpoint who you are, I need to know where the fuck did you come from. Does that make sense? So yeah, the phenotypes and all that are important, but we can see that. I can look at you and see that. I don't need you to tell me that you black. Or that you're melanated or whatever, copper colored. I can see that when I look at you. Damn, tailbone hurting. I need one of them donuts to sit on. God damn. Anyway, let me see. Cage face say your nose and lips are key. Are key too. Just like the statues in these. Absolutely. But what do I gotta say that though? Do I need to announce that? Do you think that those ancient Egypt, excuse me, you think that those ancient Egypt or Kemet melanated people refer to themselves as their phenotype or their color, or that they represent their origin, where they come from? You know what I'm saying? The pyramids depict we were always exactly. So basically, man, if being called black is what we choose to do, it shouldn't offend anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the first thing that we could be proud of. The motherfuckers called us. You know what I'm saying? Now I forgot to mention when I mentioned all the names they called us, I forgot the most important thing they called us, and that's shame on me. My apologies. Indian. They first referred to niggas as Indians. And for whatever reason, we just accepted whatever the fuck they told us we was. But Umar Johnson, you know, I got video of him talking about pretending. He don't want to hear nothing about Indian. Indian don't count to him. You know what I'm saying? Native melanated motherfuckers from the beginning, where there's fossils of 16, damn near 17,000 years old of melanated women in Brazil and Mexico. I'm in LA, Mexico up the street. So why shouldn't we claim this land? He's mad because black people is saying, hey man, this land, like the song, this land is our land, this land belongs to us. This is our home. Who did white folks get it from? Like I said, no, I don't have no smoke with Africa. You know what I'm saying? I love and respect and admire Africa for all of its beauty and all of its resources and all of its culture. But that ain't got nothing to do with me being proud of who I am and where my people originated. And as far as I know, there is no African lineage in my bloodline. Let me get back into the video.
Only an idiot will cut themselves off from a meaningful relationship with other nations.
Now, that right there is the lie. How is coming into a knowledge of yourself, how is coming into a realization of who you are and what's yours and where you belong and where you come from, how is that cutting you off? They want to say that the FBA ideology is divisive, and I disagree. I disagree with that. I think that that's a way to try and circumvent the growth. And let me say this too, man. Like I said about the word black, it's a misnomer. So I don't all the way 1,000%. I think that that's the best we gonna do for now. That's the best we gonna do for now, because white people ain't gonna never stop being white. So niggas ain't gonna never stop being black. So that's not so. But FBA, like, what's the knock on it? The only issue I take part with it is the framework suggests that black people were brought here in the transatlantic slave trade. Now, this is true for some, but not most and not all. Black people have always been here. Let me read this comment. Everyone loves Danny said he seems like he's trying to distract us from recognizing who we really are. Him saying Native Americans don't count to him, that says it all. Wow. Yeah, he's an agent. Absolutely. Cageface say he's pushing an agenda like the Wizard of Oz. All these black foundations and still homeless. Yep. And sick in their own communities. Tupac would have been canceled if Tupac was here. Because Tupac would have seen him and saw he was full of shit, and he would have told everybody don't fuck with him. Period. But yeah, man, how are you going on this crusade against FBA? I'm noticing that the term is now being adopted in mainstream, settings. I've heard it on the news, Fox News, CNN, different journalists, Tucker Carlson. You know what I'm saying? So the truth is, everybody is not an African American, brother. I don't know. I know you a college punk ass professor, so you say, but everybody, every nigga here ain't African. Some niggas is Indian, bro. Yeah. With your smart ass, you think you know everything, but everybody ain't from Africa. Now you might be African, or then again, maybe you not. Who knows? But you can't tell nobody who they are, and the fact that you putting this energy and effort into trying to distract something that black people want for themselves, which is an identity and a nation of origin. Because even in Jamaica, I don't know if the Jamaican cat is still on the live. Who was the Jamaican? Duddy Rock B. Even in Jamaica or any other Caribbean countries or wherever there's black people, they got their problems, they got their corruption, they got their racism going on over there. It's fucked up everywhere, but them people still proud of where they come from, and just like that, Duddy Rock B, he flying his flag as he should. That's his home. Well, guess what? This is the foundation that was laid. I accept and I am proud to be a black man. This country of origin is America. So if foundational black American is offensive to you, then go to fuck to Africa, you motherfucker, you. Go to Africa and take your punk ass school with you. Can you explain your research? Okay, Season. Can you explain your research behind the idea of not originating from Africa? See, if you listen to me, I don't know if you had clicked off for a second, but I said all civilization originates from Africa. Remember I said that? Remember I said that even if you Caucasian, Spanish, or Asian, your civilization began in Africa. Okay? So, and that's just scientific research. I can Google that. You can Google that yourself. You don't need a fucking you don't need an expert to tell you that, brother. And I know we've been rocking, so I ain't finna get on opposing. I ain't finna go opposing with you because that ain't what I'm here to do. You know what I'm saying? So, But I understand you know you looking for some information, man. I just hopped on here, so I'm not finna share no. When I come with receipts, I come like that. This is just me off the rip. So you're gonna have to take it at face value, or you just gonna have to not take it at all. You know what I'm saying? This is just convo. This is just building. Okay, you said you mean as a black person. So tell me, what kind of person are you? What kind of person are you? Season. Are you a black person? Can you explain your research behind the idea of not originating from Africa? Just curious, as I've heard others say this, but I can't understand why Native Americans have straight hair and don't look. I mean, as a black person. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Season. You know those Tonto and Pocahontas type of Native Americans that you talking about? Do you know that those are Siberian and Asian immigrants who came to this country um, way like after the fact? And that's why all them people is like all on the outskirts of every okay, I'm a black born in Canada and my parents are Trinidad. Okay, all right, that's what's up. Well, listen to what I'm saying. All those people, man, are on the outskirts of these territories. They end up in the desert lands. You know, the real Indians were experts at agriculture. Forgive me, I ain't saying that shit right, but you know what I mean. They were farmers. You know what I'm saying? They were green thumbs. You know what I'm saying? They was smoking the peace pipe. You know what I'm saying? They had all they shit popping. They wasn't settling in no motherfucking desert. But all these kind of Indians, like the ones that got the casinos and all that, the ones on the reservation, them pale face Indians. Have you ever seen the logo for the Washington Redskins? See, I ain't even ready to show no receipts, man. I wish I had my. Man, I'm gonna get on here another day, man. I came on here to talk about Umar, not fucking Indians, but yeah, man. Just look at the logo for the Washington Redskins. Do that look like any Indian you ever seen on television? Because that's what they look like. Those are the Cage Face know what I'm talking about. Those the copper colored Indians that Christopher Columbus said he saw when he got here. Copper colored curly hair. Okay? That's and you can Google that, season. That's what Christopher Columbus saw and many other explorers. Everybody that came here saw black. He called the blacks Indians. So now what you see right now is just like you see the so-called JEU. You know what I'm saying? The JEU. You see him, right? Yeah, okay, yeah, Indian. You can look at him. But Nipsey is African though. But he mixed though, right? Because his mom is from LA like me, and his dad is Eritrean. So, you know what I'm saying? He that's a true African American. Like a motherfucker. Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan, she really looks Indian, but that last name Khan, did they have curly hair? Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, you gonna make me you want me to pull up some receipts, don't you? God damn. I wasn't even trying to do all that. I'm trying to get into this Umar. I can't be on here all night. Let me see if I can pull up a couple receipts, bro. Real quick. Let me see if I can do that right quick, man. I don't wanna stretch it out no longer than I need to, though. Let me see. Let's see here, man. Wow. Okay, we gonna pull up a couple receipts, man. Because now we done got into the Indian. No sorry, no sorry necessary, brother. No sorry, it's all good. We, bro. I'm not even tripping. Cause see, we all learning, and we all, a lot of this information is foreign, and I can't expect you, just like it was not too long ago that I didn't know a lot about this stuff that I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? California is named after a black woman. Wow. Hey, Cage Face, give me some game then. Who was the woman? Tell me about the woman. You see that? Like I said, we all learn it. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, it's not about who know the most or what somebody don't know. What it's about is what you do know. You share so we all can grow. You know what I mean? That's what's most important. That the information is pushed forward, and we get it and we able to gain from it. So yeah. Okay, let me see this video right here. Let's see. Do. Take me through there. Take me through there. Hold on.
All right, racist.
They're warriors. From the very beginning, black Americans have been a vital part of the American story, helping to make this the greatest nation in the history of the world.
Let's continue to correct the propaganda and the attempt at erasing the truth. Black Americans are not the descendants of the Indians in the history books. They are the Indians. The proof has been buried, but it's not gone. When Christopher Columbus washed up on these shores, lost and delirious, who did he write that he found? He called them Indios. He mapped a land he labeled India Superior, a territory that included Florida. He wasn't hallucinating an empty land. He was documenting people who were already there. These images can be found in Gran Canaria, Spain, at the Columbus Museum, Casa de Colón. And who were those people? They weren't the pale-skinned Siberians who crossed a land bridge, that's for sure. The historical records, the artwork from the era, the very descriptions, they detail people with dark skin, with hair textures that Europeans had never seen. They describe the original people as dark-skinned and woolly haired, the true owners of the soil. The people that Columbus met were Black Americans, the West Indians of the Caribbean, the Indians of the North and South American coasts. All of these territories were black civilizations. Native Americans are the erasure. They are the last part of the destiny swap, a foreign invasive group from Siberia, and was grafted onto the identity of the people who were already here, while the original people were systematically reclassified, enslaved, and renamed to sever their claim to the land. The Indian Removal Act was a removal of black indigenous nations. The face on the old nickel, the buffalo nickel, that proud profile was a black indigenous man, an American Indian. Every time someone speaks about Native American history while pointing to a group that arrived later, they are perpetuating the final stage of the conquest, the theft of the victim's identity. They replace the people and the story. Black Americans are not a people without a land. They are the land. They are India superior. They are the Indians that Columbus couldn't miss, and that every power since has tried to make you unsee. The map doesn't lie. The history books do.
All right, season. So what I want you to do, bro. I get that old boy. It seemed like he on the other side of the game. It's all that, man. But just take the information, fam. And it ain't for me to give it to you. It's for me to wake you to the information. If you're interested, then you can take that and you can do your research from there. If you just on here to troll, which I hope that ain't your goal. You know what I mean? I hope you on here on some build. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just trying to build. If you on something else, You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I ain't got time to play with that. But yeah, but you heard the information, man. So I'm going to get back to what I was on because I don't want to be getting distracted, especially if somebody, you got the, who is this guy? What difference do it make? Who are you? Who am I? You know what I'm saying? So it's like the information is for everybody and anybody can share it. White, black, gay, straight, that shit don't matter. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just, you know what I'm saying? So if you acted like you was earnestly, you know, wanting some information and then you trying to knock the messenger, like, that ain't really cool to me. Anyway, Cage Face, the mythical queen in the novel Queen Califia is described as a dark-skinned, griffin-riding warrior who was courageous, strong of limb, and large of person. She commanded an army of black women. Okay. So that's who California now. You know what, though? I guess that's kind of fitting, man. Okay. All right. I appreciate you cleaning that up. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. We see what, you know, what dude is up, you know, but that's his damn business, though. I don't care about that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Not I care about that information. You know what I'm saying? Talk about the information, though. What you think about what he said? Okay? Let's get into that. You got to watch these trolls. They'll try and throw you off your topic just like that troll just did. Internet weak sauce. Yeah, let me get back on my topic, champ. Thank you, Danny. Yeah, that's how it go, too. That's how it go. I gotta find it, damn.
From my African roots. I don't give a damn what game y'all want to play, but you ain't doing that. There's spiritual ramifications for that. There's political ramifications for that. There's economic ramifications for that. And let's go political. Loon. Only an idiot will cut themselves off from a meaningful relationship with.
Nobody's cutting. We're not cutting ourselves off from a meaningful relationship. When my boy D in the chat, who was that? The Jamaican cat. When Duddy Rock B, when he threw his Jamaican flags up, was he cutting himself off from a meaningful relationship, or was he just representing his flag and his soil? And not only is it respected, it's expected, and it's all good. So no, why when American or blacks from America stand up and say, man, this who we are and this where we come from and this what we represent, you got to be cutting yourself off. That's some sucker shit you on. I'm really good on Dr. Umar punk ass.
Other nations. You cannot survive in this world without allies.
If you are ally, you are ally. So I guess in order for niggas to have allies, we gotta be orphans. Hey, Danny, Caesar said, excuse me, miss, one love. You know what I'm saying? He come in peace, okay? He didn't mean it like that, okay? You misunderstood where he was coming from, okay? He just was laughing at the Homo sapien, okay? That's it. He ain't trying to troll. We get you, Caesar. We all right. We all right. Rep your culture, amen. Yeah, man. So, yeah, that shit crazy, man. Like, what he say is cool when you do it, but it's a problem when we do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Do you understand me? Especially when you are a numerical minority. How did Cuba survive America, being 90 miles off the coast, Loon? Because Cuba had Russia an international ally. The American African people need Africans as allies. We need our Caribbean brothers and sisters as allies. We need our South and Central American brothers and sisters as allies, not enemies.
Yes.
So you mean to tell me you fighting the white man who's an enemy?
We do need them as allies. And we don't want them, and we're not doing anything to create enemies. But you putting this messaging out there like that's what FBA is. This divisive, dismissive, movement that's anti-Caribbean, anti-African. Like that's some sucker shit. That's some sucker shit. Why would you want that to be the narrative? And you know what? And I'm glad you said that, Cage Face. We are not the minority. But you see how he tried to slide that in all slick and smooth? We the minorities? No, nigga, you the minority. With your fake ass Pan-African bullshit you be on. Here we go.
You cannot survive in this world without allies. Do you understand me? Especially when you are a numerical minority. Why did Cuba?
Especially when you are a numerical minority. Yeah, still calling us minority. Nothing was minor about us. Never, never, never. Not at all. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Where my damn sound effects at, man? True. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. And Dr. Umar.
Reality. Liar!
That's for him. That's for that sucker. Let's get back to it.
But how did Cuba survive America? Being 90 miles off the coast, Loon? Because Cuba had Russia, an international ally. The American African people need Africans as allies. We need our Caribbean brothers and sisters as allies.
We do. We do need them as allies. But what do you say? But you saying that we don't want them as allies, or that we want to be enemies with them. Like, that's not true. You're promoting a false narrative. Period, point blank.
We need our South and Central American brothers and sisters as allies, not enemies.
Yes.
So you mean to tell me you fighting the white man who's an enemy, and I'm going to make an enemy out of all my black brothers and sisters around the world? That is insane.
Yeah, I don't
And it's not one-sided. I want to be clear, Loon. African immigrants are just as guilty of this sectionalism and division. I want to be very clear because I've seen the feed. People send them.
Is anybody on the chat doing sectionalism? What is that? Sectionalism, and division with Africans and Caribbeans who identifies themselves as black? Anybody in the chat that identifies as black? Do you engage in sectionalism? I don't even know how to say the damn word. And division with Africans and Caribbeans. Is that what you niggas is doing behind my back? Because I wasn't aware of it. I didn't know that's what Foundational Blacks was about. What about you, Season? And I don't know if are you in Canada or are you just Canadian? Either way, do y'all section yourself off and divide yourself from Africans and well, I know it's a lot of Caribbeans out there anyway, but do the native Canadians divide yourself from the Caribbeans and the Africans? Like, this is just a created, fraudulent ass argument just to try and put a negative stain on the whole FBA movement. Okay, Toronto. Hey, listen, and to be perfectly clear, I'm glad you said that, Season, to be perfectly clear. I didn't think that was cool, like how Kung Fu Kenny did Drake, bro. I didn't think that was deserved. I didn't think that was necessary. You know, I'm a fan of Kung Fu Kenny too. I got to give him his credit. He making some good music, but I was a humongous Drake fan for a long time, and that shit just distracted that whole get down. But that's another conversation for another day. But yeah. But welcome to the chat, man, from Toronto. And he says Toronto's very mixed and we all connect. Exactly. It ain't no. Now look, we might not all connect here in the States, especially in LA where I live at. You know, because we got division with Mexicans, whites, shit, everybody. We got division with just niggas in general. If you ain't no nigga that we know, then we don't really do a whole lot of, you know what I'm saying, carrying on. Oh, he said he knew Drake before the fame. That's what's up. I fuck with Drake, man. That's one of my favorite rappers of all times, man. Drake is dope. But yeah, man. This is just a false argument. You know what I'm saying? And it's really just to bring a negative light on the FBA movement.
Yeah. It is. I'm not saying that ADOS FBAs are more liable for the racial divide. They're not. It's equal.
And it's not equal. It's not equal because I don't know if I got time, but I got a video where it's showing nothing but Africans and Caribbeans separating themselves from blacks. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, as far as I know, we always looked at them as black and, you know what I'm saying? And they come to this country, you know what I'm saying? They don't have no problems with niggas. We good. But the barbershop I go to, it's an African barber and him or none of his clientele, they don't even look in niggas' direction, let alone speak. But he and my foundational Black Americans barbershop, you know what I'm saying, paying for that chair. But they ain't trying to fuck around with niggas. Now, I ain't saying all of them like that, but, you know, that shit happens more often than not out here.
Some of the stuff I've seen continental Africans say about American Africans is unacceptable. And some of the things I've seen us say about them is unacceptable. So I'm not giving one side more blame than the other. They're equally wrong.
Yes. And, you know, I think when I look at all of the movements together, you know, I'm just concerned that we do have a lot of infighting. But with that being said,
Well, that's okay because I'm bringing a solution to this. Since we're knocking on the door of FDMG being ready.
We ain't knocking on the door of shit, nigga.
Liar!
We ain't knocking on the door of nothing. He said we knocking on the door of FDMG being ready.
Oh my God!
The truth doesn't need to be scared. Race is all lies will be exposed like a petty individual for picking apart lies. But Jussie Smollett gonna keep lying until you say we don't believe you.
That nigga lying. Why that nigga lying, man?
Race is not all lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light.
Yeah, that nigga lying. He lying. K-Face. He's the only knocker. Yeah, he knocking it. He wanna try and knock it down. But look, he want people to follow his lead though. He talking about the school is on the precipice of being open.
I've seen continental Africans say about American Africans is unacceptable. And some of the things I've seen us say about them is unacceptable. So I'm not giving one side more blame than the other. They're equally wrong.
Yes. And you know, I think when I look at all of the movements together, you know, I'm just concerned that we do have a lot of infighting. But with that being said,
Well, that's okay because I'm bringing a solution to this. Since we're knocking on the door of FDMG being ready. There needs to be a progressive American African movement that looks out for the best interests of the American African people that does not demonize our brothers and sisters abroad and that looks to build relationships with them as far as that can be done. So my movement to counteract the negativity of these movements we're discussing is going to be the Dafa movement.
Do you think that a motherfucker finna follow your movement? Dafa? You always want some shit to sound African too. Like, you don't see that shit ain't taken? Niggas is not African. Okay? And these is black people. These is niggas. All the people that's behind FBA is all black people who commonly are referred to as niggas and refer to themselves as niggas. I don't give a fuck if they doctors, lawyers, judges, you know what I'm saying? Principals. At the end of the day, when they get around certain motherfuckers, they know that we some niggas and they some niggas. And all this Dafa and Dayfu and Fubu and all that shit you talking about, bro, go to Africa with that. Go to Africa with that. Because if Africa and if niggas in Africa and niggas in America was going to be all this holding hands, skipping into the sun like it's the sunset, like Dr. Martin Luther King's dream, we would have been done it by now. It didn't happen. You got to accept that. You got to accept that shit did not happen, and it's okay. It ain't no big deal. We all right. It ain't no war. You know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't going at it. We good. They doing them and we doing us. We have a ton of Africans in Toronto, and they do stick together in their own communities. But I've noticed the second generation are different and have assimilated to Canada. Okay. Like, he can change the world. Fuck, he think he is Ron on there. Yeah, like he could change the world. I get you, Cage Face. You know what I'm saying? He need to follow Dr. Sebi research and cure his people he loves. They don't love us, so what we love ourselves. So what? We love ourselves. Okay. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Day fool and all that shit. Man, get the fuck up out of here, nigga. Nobody's listening to you. Niggas followed you 2015. Niggas been following you for over 10 years, nigga. And you couldn't get to school. You couldn't get to school for children. What you gonna do for a whole nation of niggas? Stupid. It's not too late. Like I said, the second generation immigrants are open to connecting more than the older generation. Okay, well, I'm from the older generation. Like I told you, I'm 49. Maybe it is y'all generation that's gonna get it. What? How old are you? I don't know if you connect with that generation, because the younger generation where I'm at, these dudes is. Yeah. I don't see it happening over here where I'm at. The younger generation over here is lost, misguided, and uninterested. Exactly. And we ain't heard a word about the school in a long while. No, he just threw the school in right there. Nobody's listening to him. Can't take him serious at all. Okay, 35. Yeah, okay. So yeah, you a millennial, I'm thinking. That's a millennial. I'm Generation X. So yeah, Generation X, we had high hopes. You know what I'm saying? We thought we like I told you, my generation, we wore the African medallions and we wore the beads and we celebrated Africa. We thought us in Africa was all one. We thought we were African, to be honest. Well, I mean, no progress, I should say. Yeah. Yeah, we thought we was African, man. So, but the Africans didn't think they was black. The school ain't opening up. Nope. But yeah, man. So, if your generation can pull it off, man, you got my full support. But you got to realize at this stage, for me, you know what I'm saying? I'm past trying to push that. Okay? Y'all got to push that. You know what I'm saying? I have no more energy or effort to put towards trying to connect with people who have disconnected from me. Now, I'm not saying there's a problem or there's hatred or there's smoke. I'm just saying that I'm just focused on me and mine, like they're focused on them and theirs.
DAFA, descendants of African freedmen in America. Remember, Loom.
See, and that's the other thing. Freedmen, they always want to refer to the slave aspect of this shit. I'm not trying to identify with slavery, nigga. Fuck, I don't care about that shit. I don't want to hear about that shit. If there's anything that I'm trying to disconnect from, it's fucking slavery. I want to talk about before slavery. I want to talk about the indigenous melanated black Americans. Before this bitch was even ever called America or whatever it was called. I want to talk about that. I don't give a fuck about freedmen. Exactly. You want niggas to be reminded of that their ancestors were slaves. Nobody else is reminded of their indentured servitude. Freedmen, nigga, shut the fuck up. Nobody ain't feeling that.
After freedom came, we were known as what? Freedmen.
After freedom came, we was known as what? Freedmen. Yep, because we existed before slavery. Amen. Hallelujah. Nigga, we don't want to talk. We're not finna be remembered as the slaves for the rest of our existence. You can do that. Freedman, you dumb son of a bitch.
African people that does not demonize our brothers and sisters abroad and that looks to build relationships with them as far as that can be done. So my movement to counteract the negativity of these movements we're discussing is going to be the DAFA movement. DAFA, descendants of African freedmen in America. Remember, Loom, after freedom came, we were known as what? Freedmen. That was a legal classification. We were the freedmen. My 3 times great-grandfather George fought in the Civil War. My 4 times great-grandfather Steve fought in the Civil War. My cousins Lewis and Charles, the sons of Frederick Douglass, fought in the Civil War.
Man, you ain't got no Frederick Douglass lineage, nigga. Quit lying. It's already been proven. You up here trying to push some shit and still up here don't even know when to give up a lie, nigga, that you've been caught in. A narcissist and a fraud. Because he wants to be free, but the Matrix has him. You killing the Cage Face. God damn. Wake up, Dio. He's living in another man's dream world. Man. Well put, bro. Well put. Damn. Wake up, Neo. Man. Think he gonna lead somebody somewhere, nigga. Nobody's following you, nigga. He's not related to Frederick Douglass. Exactly. Fraud.
I'm a descendant of freedmen who fought to keep this country from being divided. And we have rights as freedmen. Fire! So we're fighting as descendants of African, not no American.
Okay. You, not we. You. are fighting as a descendant of an African. You. Do your thing. Go your way. And I would prefer you not come with us. I would prefer you be separate from us, the blacks, the Americans. And you go to Africa. You got your Ghanaian citizenship. Go. Don't worry about niggas. And niggas will not worry about you. Yeah.
Ain't never putting that no title, no organization of mine. Descendants of African freedmen in America. Man,
Okay,
my
well,
3 times.
Listen, nobody wants to be a part of no organization of yours. Who all wants to be a part of a Dr. Umar a Dr. Umar organization? Put a L in the chat if you want to be a part of a Dr. Umar organization, or if you would avoid a Dr. Umar organization like the plague. Put a motherfucking W in the chat.
My grandfather George fought in the Civil War. My 4 times.
Nigga, don't nobody want to be a part of your organization. Oh, man. It's hard for me to not be open to other black folks. The Willie Lynch letter was focused on dividing us, bro. Yeah, bro. Don't get caught up in all that mumbo jumbo about Willie Lynch. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of bullshit going on, man. And, you know, you're going to find out. You 35. You're going to see, man, there's a lot of bullshit that's been told as his historic facts. And a lot of shit is just fraud, bro. Willie Lynch and all that punk ass shit. Listen, I don't know if because you say it's hard for me not to be open to other black folks. Do you think that what I'm saying is me saying that I'm not open to other black folks, Season? It's hard for me not to be open to other black. Do you think, am I coming across like I'm not open to other black folks? And if so, and if you say, and if yes, I am, tell me what am I saying that makes you think that I'm not open to other black folks? Cage face, I'd rather work at Chuck E. Cheese before I fuck with a Umar organization. Nigga, I rather work, nigga, in the sewer with Donatello and Michelangelo and be down in that motherfucker eating a cheese pizza. All right, come on, let's finish.
Great-grandfather Steve fought in the Civil War. My cousins Lewis and Charles, the sons of Frederick Douglass, fought in the Civil War. I'm a descendant of freedmen who fought to keep this country from being divided. And we have rights as freedmen, so we're fighting as descendants of African, not no American. You ain't never putting that no title, no organization of mine.
When they was fighting that Civil War, was they fighting for America or was they fighting for Africa?
Descendants of African freedmen in America.
I like that. Do you think you're going to get pushback for even launching that?
It don't matter. I'm stronger than both of them groups put together.
Okay.
Nah, you ain't shit, nigga. You ain't nothing. You ain't nothing. And you know, your FDMG, Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey, Leadership Academy. If it was to ever open, I'm certain that it wouldn't be worth a fuck. I'm certain that it wouldn't be nothing. and it would end up getting shut down, and you would end up being sued. You would end up doing some shit that you ain't got no business doing, saying some shit you ain't got no business saying, or whatever the funding, because you're gonna have to get funding, because like somebody said earlier, I forget who said it, but it's gonna be at least $1 million a year just to keep the shit operational with staff and everything it's gonna take to keep it afloat. And all you would do is figure out a way to scam the money out of the fucking school, because that's what you are, a scammer.
Okay. Now, with that being said, I do believe that reparations, the debt is lineage specific. So I don't want to remove the point. Like I like how you put it, right? That before America was America, there were the same behavior. Yeah. So, but I think the British should pay for that.
Yes.
Or did you say were the funds transferred
part
to?
of your reparations is coming from who? The British. And if we go 1619, right, to 1719, that's 100 years. And then 1719 to 1776, that's like almost 60. So 160 years of your 250. Guess what? Most of your time in American slavery was under the British, not the Americans. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Hey, this nigga. He thought he ate on that, didn't he? Look at him. You can't even blame the American white man for your slavery. You can't even blame the American white man for not making sure when you got freed by the American government that you didn't get your 40 acres or your mule. That you did not get the debt that was owed. You can't even blame that on the American people who on the European settlers who crafted the the concept of this American society that we now know. You can't blame them, even though they all got rich off of your land that they took over. You got to talk to Britain about that. That's who owe you. This nigga is an agent. He's a distractor and a con artist. Nigga, you go talk to Britain about your goddamn school. You go talk to Britain about your DAFU shit and see what they tell you. Now you want to tell niggas to go to Britain. Nigga, take your punk ass to Britain. All right, Justo be serving. His ego is out of control, absolutely. Caesar said it'll be shut down within a few years. Yeah, if he was to ever get it open. Harriet freed slaves. Umar, who did you free? Reparations is to escape the matrix. Money is nothing compared to building our own from nature. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My fault. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This nigga telling us to go talk to Britain. Man.
We just did the math. Yeah. Most of your time enslaved in America was under the British. Is it not common sense, Loon, to unite with my African brothers and sisters in Ghana, in Malawi, in Nigeria, in Jamaica, in other places around the British Empire who are fighting for the same thing when we are all kith and kin anyway? Does it make sense for me to be at odds with a Jamaican?
Why we can't be FBA and still unite, though? Why does FBA automatically exclude the opportunity to unite? Why does that automatically take unification off the table? Because we first united as a people of ourselves, and then we unite with those people. What's wrong with that? Why do we have to be the scattered orphans? You know what I'm saying? The motley crew of misfits who don't have a homeland or origin or a place to call home. Why do we need to be them people? Why do you want us to be defined as that in order to unite? Or your Dafu punk ass shit you talking about? Maybe he can pick up the accent and gaslighting, but yeah, man. Yeah. Laugh my ass off. You nailed it. A fucking agent. Gotta watch this fast talking con artist. Absolutely. Let's see.
Who may very well be my blood cousin? Does it make sense for me to be at odds with the Nigerian who might very well be my blood uncle? Loon, we are fighting with people who may very well be from your same ancestral line.
We're not fighting with nobody. You the only one on here fighting with niggas. Look at this weirdo, man. He really be thinking he be eating.
That is ridiculous. And we don't fight white people half as much as we fight each other. And that goes for us and the African side.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in both sides, bro.
Yeah.
For me, there's only one tribe, and that's the Pan-Africanist tribe. You are either for all Africans or you are for no African.
That's
But see, the reason I have to come forward with the Dafa movement is many American Africans who agree with some of what they're hearing, but don't want to be part of the conflict and the division. But they say, I either got to
it's
go
a lot of
ADOS,
that.
I got to go FBA.
Yeah.
Both of them antagonize African immigrants. I don't want the antagonism, but I do understand the need for us because we have a unique history that nobody else has, right? But I ain't got nowhere to go. So they're being forced to join movements that they don't fully want to support because they don't agree with the negativity. So I'm going to come with the movement where, yes, we're going to do our thing as the American African people and still link up with the general race.
So you have a solution. You're
Absolutely.
solution based in your approach to it. 'Cause
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Umar, the man with the plan. If you got questions, he got answers. You got problems, he got solutions. You got money, he got Cash App. He got PayPal. He got Apple Pay. He got Zelle. If you got donations, then he got a scam. Okay? He got FDMG, and now he got Dayfu. Okay? And this nigga be talking and fucking foaming at the mouth and getting all intense and, you know what I'm saying, getting himself all riled up and be full of shit the whole time. He ain't finna do nothing but get on this motherfucker and talk and get your money. That's it. Let's see. Umar thinks less than $1 about black people. If he opens the school, he'd be unalive for doing for his people. You think so? He fighting on the side. He fighting on their side. I believe that. Agent Umar. I believe that because I think that's why they letting that nigga run amok, you know, with this fraud and these donations, just like Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? They let them get all that money and, you know, now they just off, you know, living life. And, you know, what does that money help any black people in need or black people that have, you know, have been wronged or, you know what I'm saying? Or in any way, like it was just $90 million that went in people's pocket. And nobody's doing nothing about it. I said this in a previous comment, but I think the link to certain representatives like Tariq, okay, causes people like Umar to say those things because let's be honest, Tariq makes and I don't agree with that. Okay, and I'm glad you brought that up because I was talking about that earlier. You know, you got Tariq, and I've seen another person being real, just insulting to immigrants in America, black immigrants, whether they're Caribbean or African, and but that's those people. You can't put that on the whole. Excuse me. You can't put that on the whole situation. You know what I'm saying? That's a man, a flawed human being, and he has his flawed point of view. You know what I'm saying? Just like anybody. You know what I'm saying? But Tariq Nasheed is not the leader. He's not my leader. He's just a person who's pushing it. You know what I'm saying? But he's definitely, in my opinion, missing the mark by trying to have negative banter with Caribbeans and Africans. That's pointless. That's not going to get anything accomplished, but cause more division. So, but I think as the shit grow, Tariq Nasheed gonna get checked because it's real intelligent brothers like my boy Reza Islam. And, you know what I'm saying? That they ain't gonna be on that shit. They gonna be checking that shit in. You know what I'm saying? So that's small. That's a small thing to a giant. Black Lives BLM is lesbians, lesbian women who stole exactly. Umar is a thief like them. Yep. I agree. His voice is so big that a lot of people will associate FBA. Yeah, which is a shame. Yeah. And like I said, I think that he gonna be corrected, man. I ain't worried about that. I think that people be having their own personal trauma about shit, and and then you put it out there, and then I've heard a couple of times where he's talked to those kind of troll type Caribbeans and Africans who call him, and you know what I'm saying, they kind of like go against him. So he started, just basically like going to war against, the whole thing, like every Caribbean and every African, putting them in one boat. And you can't do that. That's where you're gonna go wrong, and that's where you're gonna lose people, and that's when you're gonna get people to contaminate your message and contaminate your goals. You know what I'm saying? Because people really think that the movement is divisive. He's being divisive on his platform, with the shit he's saying. So that's the problem. That's a problem. But look, I want to thank y'all for joining me. Seasoned, Cage Face, Danny, Justo, and anybody I missed. Man, this was fun. Oh, my boy, Duddy Rock B, Jamaica in the house. And Jay Roxon. Yeah, I ain't gonna miss you, brother, Jay Roxon. But I want to thank y'all for joining me, man. It's been fun. Last call 3544. Hey, check this out. My name is SB Global. This platform is called Truth, Lies, Reality. And man, check on me, man. Watch some of my videos. You know what I'm saying? I'm all right on this thing, man. Y'all should make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button. Share it with your family and friends. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. All right? Peace out.